Hi everyone, my name's Kim. I'm the manager of Parentline and this is Hannah.
Hello, I'm the manager of Kids Helpline at school, but also Kids Helpline counsellor.
We wanted to get together today to put together a little bit of a resource relating to what lots of families across Australia might be feeling at the moment. We know that many families are feeling really shocked and saddened and unsettled by the tragic events that went down in Bondi. And so when something like this happens, it can absolutely affect children and teenagers in different ways, even if they weren't directly involved in what happened. And as parents, I think it's really normal to feel unsure about what to say and how much we should share and how we support them in the best possible way. So we wanted to talk a little bit about that today to try and help parents be there and be what they want to be for their children.
We just want to start off by naming that you watching this webinar and taking the time to be curious and to find out information about what's going on and how you can play a role in supporting your children is an incredible step. And by being calm, present, and willing to listen can make a huge difference for children and young people following a distressing event. And reaching out for guidance shows strength and care. It's one of the most important and supportive things that you can do.
Absolutely, Hannah. The first thing is just acknowledging that many families are feeling a range of different things. But the first things we want to kind of really focus on are you, the parent who will be, leading this kind of conversation and supportive space for our kids. So first things first, how are you feeling? How has it affected you? We really want to get some insight into before we kind of step in, because we know that our kids they feed off us as well. So when we're trying to kind of create that really calm space, the first thing is how calm are we feeling before we get started?
How children and teens may respond, and more will come because each person grieves differently. So we're still gathering different information, talking to young people, learning about their experiences and how they're coping. But one thing that we know is that young people in response, and even teens in response to any type of traumatic event or attack, every single person can respond differently. Some young people may ask a lot of questions to try and gain that understanding. I heard one time people referring to it as an umbrella of questions, going, I wonder why they're asking that question. What's behind that? Are they seeking knowledge? Are they seeking clarity? Are they seeking connection? So some people may ask a lot of questions. Some people might not want to know anything at all. Some young people may withdraw or be irritable, need that reassurance. And one thing to look out for is if people say they're fine, it doesn't always mean that they're fine. Sometimes it's the brushing it off because maybe for them in that moment, they don't want to go there, but maybe they don't have the language or don't feel comfortable going, this is too much for me right now and I don't want to talk about it. So sometimes I'm fine is a dismissive response, but sometimes that's important. They need to dismiss it in the moment because it's too much to go into.
Right, where do we start? We start with connection. We go back to basics. We want to kind of be kind to ourselves and understand that that is the most important thing. So we don't need to have, the most perfect words. We don't need to have a script. We want to look at how we're going to sit down with our kids and we're just going to explore what they might be feeling. So we ask some questions. So what have you heard? What are you feeling about this? Creating that dialogue instantly creates a safe space for connection as well. So that's the first place that we want to start with. We want to open that door.
One thing that can also be helpful is, secondly, following that conversation, is making sure it's age appropriate. And it's okay to not have all the answers, and it's okay not to know how to make that conversation appropriate for the young person. That's why we said let the young person lead that conversation, but keep things simple and honest, keep things transparent, but avoid unnecessary detail or showing things that might be a bit beyond what that young person needs. Keep it really simple. Don't go into lots of graphic detail. Maybe don't show videos or show photos, especially if the child is very, very young?
So we really want to create a safe space. We want to reinstill that the world is a safe space, and we want them to feel that within our relationship, our connection with our children as well. But we want to acknowledge what's going on. We want to acknowledge the fear that they might be feeling and the emotions that come up during that curious conversation that we had to connect. So acknowledge that kind of fear. We don't want to minimize it, but we do want to reassure. We want to reassure our children that events like this are rare. And we want to kind of really concentrate on those positive aspects of that. There are amazing people out in the world whose job it is to make us safe as a country, to make us safe as a family. And it's my job as your parent to make your world safe as well. So we want to try to kind of really reinforce that message as we're talking to our children.
Another thing we can do is just be aware of the media limits. And this might be the media limits of your young person, but something that you also role model yourself. One thing that we know is, like Kim said, because these events are rare, because these do not happen often around the world or even in Australia, they get a lot of coverage and they get a lot of people sharing things, misinformation, really traumatizing things online. So just be aware of what your young person is consuming. We know that the social media ban is in effect, but that doesn't mean that they're not still consuming media or finding another way around it. So we recommend overexposure to news and social media, it can increase anxiety. So just be aware of that. And you know your young person the best. You know when they're starting to not act like themselves. And that might be a point to take a break from the coverage or turning off the radio in the car as you're driving if you're noticing that it's starting to cause panic within your household. And on the slide are some ideas of let's switch off the news for a bit and do something else together. It's about rebuilding that connection, rebuilding that safety. And taking away what's potentially creating anxiety.
So again, what helps now? This kind of concept of keeping our routines, keeping those familiar patterns when we talk about meal times together and bedtime. And the reason why we do that is that this is a really nice way that we really reinstill that kind of confidence in that my world is still the same. My world is still feeling safe, and the trust I have in my family is reliable. It's consistent. So that's a really important thing to do to really help underpin those ongoing feelings of safety that we want our children to have.
So when to seek extra support. So every young person is different. Like we shared at the start, every young person responds differently, and you know your child. So look out for the signs that you might notice, but trust your gut as well. If you just have this instinct that something might be going on for them, there is support available for you and for your young person. We'll be going into that very soon. But what to watch out for might be ongoing worry or fear, trouble eating or sleeping, particularly for younger children. Even if you're going, oh, there's no way that they know about this. If you're noticing a change in behaviors and patterns, there might be signs that they're being impacted, even if they're not old enough to, in in some people's eyes, understand completely what's going on. It might be withdrawal or big behavior changes or a loss of interest in activities that they would usually find joy out of. So just watch out for those changes, but trust your gut.
And where to get extra support when you feel like you need some. And I think it's really important to notice not only when we need to get extra support for our children and young people, but when we, as the parents and carers, also need to get some extra support as well. So you've got Parentline. So we cover Queensland and Northern Territory, but our website will have links to different supports for parents specifically throughout Australia at parentline.com.au. Kids Helpline is available 24/7 for young people that need that added support. But we also have services, amazing services like Beyond Blue, Headspace, Lifeline, 13Yarn. So there is support out there available for when both you and your children and young people need support.
And there's also additional resources on our website. So all of these QRs, feel free to grab out your phone or device and give them a scan. But there's information that's age appropriate for kids up to the age of 12. There's teenage information about when something tragic happens close to home for ages 13 plus. And then we also have parent resources as well to help further support you, which is potentially where you found this video.
And Parentline is here to talk all things parenting, sorry. So you can give us a call. We have counsellors available to assist you on 1300 30 1300 or at parentline.com.au. We also have My Circle for Parents, which is a really great service that's found through parentline.com.au. This is a forum that is moderated by our counsellors, so it's a super safe space where parents get to support other parents who are going through really similar things to you. So it's really about how do we recreate that concept of a village of parents supporting parents. So feel free to log on and reach out to other parents as well.
And just a reminder, like Kim shared, that Kids Helpline's here for your young people anytime, any reason, no matter what they're going through, whether it's something big, small, or especially following an event such as this. If they're wanting to talk about it and get professional counselling and support, your young people can contact us all the way up to 25, anytime, day or night. Our number's 1-800-551-800. We also have our website where young people can jump on and web chat with us, which is messaging back and forth with a counsellor. But we also have My Circle as well for young people 12 to 25 that they can go and be a part of that peer community. A couple of additional information about Kids Helpline is that it's free, it can be once off or ongoing. Young people don't have to use their real names if they don't want to, and we keep everything private and confidential unless a child is in danger. We want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this through to hopefully get some additional ideas and support. But even if it's just reaffirming that what you're doing right now is incredible, you're playing such an important role, and wanting to know information, wanting to support your young person is such the best first step. So keep leaning on what you know, keep leaning on what's familiar, like Kim shared, lean into that routine and know that big events and tragedies have an impact on everyone. So really take care of yourself during this time so you can continue caring for your young person. That's all from us. Bye.